Hello, Warriors. How's everyone doing today? Silver got to that number 53.20, surpassed it by 20, 30 cents. Reverse gold silver ratio reverse, silver down 70, gold still up 18 bucks. And S&P's down sharply, trying to hold Friday's low. Everyone doing okay? Team, how you guys doing?
We're okay, mate. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. I don't have my headset plugged in. It's on my head, but
Plug it in,
can
Dale.
you hear me now? Better?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, got you. Uh, I didn't have my I didn't have my headset plugged in. I had it on my head, but not
Oh,
plugged in.
like the old, where's my glasses? Oh, they're on top of
Yeah,
your head.
yeah, yeah. I did that with a phone once. It's unbelievable. I said, "Hey, buddy, I'm looking for my phone," and I was on the phone. How about that one, huh? Anyway, all right, let's get to it. Silver, um, that was the number, and it's performing. And here's gold silver ratio. Really grinded it out. I think it's going to 85 and maybe 90. And, I thought that EG was rolling over. That's not the case. Um, and took profits on Aussie today. The 64 areas pretty important support, although I do think it'll take it out. I'm looking for 62. Let's start with the euro, the zero. I'm going to have to go to bed a couple hours earlier. I'm going to bed at, hey, Blake, I'm going to go to bed at 6:30 tonight. So I'm
You know,
sharper.
I
Huh?
try that, and then what happens is I end up getting
They're
up
up
at
at
1:30
2.
in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. We've tried everything
right.
except moving to a more accommodative time zone.
Sure. Yeah, which in this case might have to end up being in Asia. We should probably discuss the reasons why the markets are down so sharply,
All right.
with the news that's surrounding the tensions that are building again with the
China.
China-US trade
Yeah.
tensions overnight. And I think that's like where we should start because it is putting pressure on everything across the board.
Okay. So I really don't know the news. Over the weekend, President Trump he walked it back a little bit. So what happened last night?
Well, China, and I'll let Ryan and K-Man jump in here and
Okay.
talk a little bit about it once I tell everybody what's happened. So China went over and sanctioned U.S. Units of a South Korean shipping giant and threatened further retaliatory measures on the whole industry. And so they sanctioned five U.S. units of Hanwha Ocean Company, and and it's people are still expect that Xi and Trump are going to meet by the end of this month as expected, but it is China saying, hey, we're still going to be here and we're still gonna put up our hands and fight. We're not gonna roll over. And that's why S&P futures are down, and just hit the 618 retracement of, Friday's
That's
lows
yeah,
to the highs yesterday. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
618 retracement, Dale, between
Okay.
the spike low that you see
Yeah, I
there.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
higher
tweeted about
low.
it and
So
updated
maybe
our.
so do you think you buy it for a C wave? You think we get a C wave back up here, or we take out this low before that
Do you
happens?
think
That's the
Trump's
big
going to
question.
taco more?
I don't know.
So
I
that
can't
there's
predict
your
it.
answer. There's your answer
Okay.
because it really depends on what the U.S. response is here, as the administration, like us, are getting in front of their, waking up and going, oh shit, this is what China's done overnight. So what's going to be our response here? And so that is, if Trump comes back and is like, hey, we're all friends, still want to meet you by the end of the month, we can recover all of this. if he comes out on Twitter and he's had a bad sleep and he hasn't had a cup of coffee and takes
Yeah.
back his phone from his aides and rattles something, aggressive off to China, we're going to be trading below channel support. We're going to be trading below Friday's lows. So
Okay.
your guess is just as good as mine. That's why I'm going to
Thank you.
let
Thank
uh,
you.
I'm going to let Ryan jump in there and maybe he can give us some better flavor and color because Ryan and K-Man have been watching the price action since we were sleeping, so we should probably listen to what they have to say.
Oh,
Have we?
cool. And yeah.
Well, we
Well,
were waiting for you lot to come in.
did you guys see the silver while it was topping up here last night, or was
Yeah,
it in Asia?
Yeah, I was watching it last night in Asia, and we updated our charts when gold was trading just moments from the highs, maybe 15, 20
Yeah.
minutes from the highs. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Ryan, let's where do you want to start? It's up to you. Currencies, Trump, stock indices. What is the most important thing for us to pay attention to this morning?
everything.
I know
No,
it is that way, isn't it?
you
Yeah.
were right about you were looking at the euro at the start. That's definitely under the cosh at the moment. This stuff in France is ticking over as well. That's not looking good. We can't get back up through that 116. I think we're probably going for a wander down to we go 115 level at some point. And then we'll see whether that marks any sort of bottom or bounce point. Yeah,
Yeah.
just 100 pips
Yeah.
above there. You can have your
Okay.
114s after I get my 115s now.
Okay. You know what we're really waiting for, right? The
Yeah,
112s, right? So,
112.50. Yeah, that 38.2.
yeah. So, the yen didn't have the same response that it did on Friday with the market selling off. I mean, it's a little weaker, but
It,
not like down 100 or anything. It's taking its time here.
yeah, and it's actually holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
I think we're doing that thing where it trades in Asia on the yen side, and then it trades on the dollar when we get to the US session.
Yeah.
That's another political mess. It looks like all the other parties are trying to do a deal for a coalition without the LDP and Takaichi, the potentially incoming PM, who might not even make it that far now. So that's all up in the air. We don't know which way that's going to go. Again, it's another one of these ones. The dollar yen could trade down to 150 as easy as it could trade up to 154, depending on the news. But right now it's all US stuff and Trump and China, and it's stuck in the middle of it.
Yields broke my line and now they're back above it. Is it going to be like a false breakdown type of scenario here? We're
Um,
still holding four. What
yeah,
do you
four's
think?
my line. So it needs to hold there if it's going to hold. If we're under four, then we could see a bit of a cascade happening if it breaks through. We've had a couple of little pokes through, as you can see, back in September. But yeah, one. I mean, we were looking at this the other last week, Dale. It was ticking
Yeah.
up towards 420,
Yeah.
and now it's flipped a complete 180.
Yeah.
But obviously, the bond market was shut yesterday, so this is a bit of a catch-up reaction, I think, to all the news.
Yeah. Celios is when he got out of silver, bought TLT. Nice move. Uh, and Stell called the top of S&Ps on Friday. Well, he turned cautious the day it got killed. A good day to become cautious. So, all right. Looking at Euro pound, is it finally going to, attack those highs, Ryan? It looks like it wants to.
Well, look where the high is today, Dale.
Yeah.
Right, bang
Yeah.
on that 87.20. It
Yeah.
really is a big pivotal level, this one.
Yeah.
And we ain't getting any highs until we can get above and hold that level.
Okay. All right. Welcome back, man. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Dale, hello everybody. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm seeing that it's it's a mess everywhere. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, quite a day to come back actually, and I've got this odd feeling that the dollar is too high to chase, not high enough to counter. It does seem that the dollar now has taken back, if you look at the currencies, has taken back this role of bit of a, well, safe is a big word, but haven at least. You look at the euro, you look at cable that absolutely got hammered after the lukewarm jobs report we had this morning, and I think there was something else there. Was it not like somewhere like retail sales monitor was also a bit lower. So yeah, the dollar is doing much better. I'm not sure up to where this dollar can run actually, because as we can see, the other side of the dollar pairs, they have their own weaknesses as well, as Ryan already mentioned about the French misery, political
Yeah.
misery, then sterling doing uh, getting a bit weaker data. The yen can't really buy it for as long as we don't know exactly what's going to happen on the political side of things, and then the rest, yeah, risk of oil's dumping.
Yeah.
It's a bit of misery across the board. So yeah, I'm got a bit of a strange feeling. I'm kind of here. We are at levels where you could be long or short and still lose money. So I'm going to give it a
Stand
good shot
aside.
for entering something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. It's not illegal. And
It is,
let's make it, let's make it clear that
yeah.
when to the people out there that, we feel that when we feel that way, we still feel uncomfortable about doing nothing, but
Mm.
we've learned over time that it's less painful to
Oh yeah,
do nothing than to force something, and that if you're patient, a good trade will come your way. It'll be so compelling, you won't be able to stop yourself. But if
exactly.
you're looking for reasons to do things, it's usually not a high probability outcome. So it's
Exactly.
okay to do nothing.
Yeah, especially that what I was thinking until last week got a bit of a kick in the nuts as well. I thought Aussie would be doing a bit better. Norwegian kroner would do perhaps a bit better after a retracement, and it's all went up into when all tits up. So then now I need to look at things, and very luckily the positions I had were very small, and in Norwegian kroner I didn't even have a position. But yeah, with the way risk commodities is trading, there may be perhaps a little more pain to be taken in those currencies before we could see a revival. And we were talking about that on the Flow Show as well, and about this Trump G meeting. It could still come at the end of the week, but there will probably be more chest beating before that week that meeting may happen. And imagine that they cancel it, that they don't meet, then the market could really become a bit painful in risk of at the
What's the event? They're meeting in South Korea for
yeah, the meeting
some
that
event?
is it that ASEAN thing or
Yeah,
well,
okay.
I don't know exactly the name of the meeting, but they should be meeting. But the preparation to the meeting is not running too smoothly as we can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
wasn't expecting.
and I think Trump is getting tired of look, he was tired of the taco thing
Mm,
the first time. I don't think he's going to taco out.
no, no, but that means that we need to be on our guard
Yeah.
for risk because we all know
But but he did this weekend
But
already.
he
about what.
did.
He tacoed out. Him
No,
and
he
J.D.
didn't.
Vance.
He
Yeah,
didn't. He didn't. He just toned it down. The tariffs are still coming in 100% November the 1st.
yeah.
That didn't change.
Well, he
Yeah.
said we're friends and blah blah
Well,
blah.
yeah.
We're
Well,
gonna
Yeah, he just
that,
turned down the heat. But he
we're gonna
hasn't
get
changed.
together and kumbaya.
Yeah, but he
yeah.
hasn't changed the tariffs. They're still coming as of now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
that's
with
what
China.
that's why so I still think there's potential for those 2 weeks of chest beating, and then we will see. I think if they meet, then risk will probably fly on the back of it. Because meeting will be to try to arrange stuff, right? We know that in somewhere down the line, China needs a market. They can't only rely on Russia, Korea, North Korea, and a few other countries. And the US companies still need stuff to come into the country before they
Yeah,
can build and sell.
they need each other.
That there should be some kind of an arrangement, but if there's no meeting at the end of the at the end of the month, then it's gonna be then we're really running the danger for yeah, risk completely falling out of bed for a while.
Yeah. Well, I am a betting man, and my bet is that the Chinese population can handle more duress than Americans, and that Xi isn't going to lose the election this November. So if anyone has the ability to hang tough, I think it's the Chinese.
Well, yeah, tougher
Don't
than
us.
the Western world, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, we don't like discomfort
yeah,
at all, right? I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah,
the China,
you're right. Our tolerance levels are a lot lower than China
yeah.
for sure.
yeah,
100% agree with
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Hey,
go ahead,
hey,
Blake.
hey,
But
Dale,
this
go
last
ahead.
No,
the last
I'm
thing.
reading your mind. I'm reading your mind right now, Blake. You got the
I'll take it
charts.
over, but let's let K-Man finish his thoughts here.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing was about the metals. As I said, there's every reason to be long gold is still there. So
Right.
gold could continue to do well. But both gold and silver have been on such a run, and those last $100 in gold and those last $3 in we had a three plus dollar range in silver. Those are starting to look to me like the not the end of the road, but we need to be a bit careful. Yeah, there's a shortage of supply in silver, but it's been so well documented. Spreads have been such that we may need to be a bit careful. That's how I look at it. Just coming back, when I see a $3 range in silver, that can't be very healthy. So
No.
I'm starting just to be a little worried that all of a sudden we see that demand, that blind demand, also dry up, and then we get a bit of a correction in silver at least. Gold, I'm not 100% sure because that U.S. China thing, but we may see some correction there as well on the tip of my toes. But I would still think that silver could correct harder than gold if we see a correction coming.
Yeah, that's what the gold silver ratio is saying, that's for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, Stelios, he keeps coming in our room, talking about how silver is going to come on off, and he was actually in there this morning. I know he's extremely busy today. He's not on our show this morning, but he's been spot on. I would be worried though, and I'm going to have to say this. I'm sorry, this is from this morning. I need to go back to where his commentary was. Here it is. He goes, I think precious metals are running on fumes now. He was saying this morning. The scary thing would be, in my opinion, and K-Man, I can't agree with you more. And by the way, welcome back. You're back for good now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good to have you back. The one thing that would scare me about precious metals, though, and this, if silver is at 53 or $51, if for some reason it gets back below 50, then we have, the infamous false breakouts. And if we have a false breakout, that's not going to be good for precious metals as a whole. I mean, silver has, I don't want to say it's led the gold charge because that wouldn't be true, but
It is true. It is true. If you look at the
like,
gold silver ratio, that's been declining and didn't put in a low till this week. So as gold silver ratio goes down, that is a measurement of silver outperforming, and that's been since 105.
I guess it
Yeah,
has, like, yeah, the entire year,
yeah,
right, Dale? So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
let's go. Okay, keeping in your thought process, then, if you look at silver, let me pull up this. This is the chart that I want to. I think I did it on this chart too. I think I did. Yes, I did. Last night I posted this in the
Oh
Forex
yeah,
Analytix chat
the
room.
false breakout at 50. Yeah.
If, and that's a big if, right? If silver
Yeah.
fails at 50 and we start trading back in like, let's say 48, $49, it will be a massive false breakout if we, especially if we get back below this level, which is, roughly about 48.80, I think is what the high was from, the GFC, post GFC move. We get back below that, and you look at gold, and I have to echo what K-Man said just a minute ago. Gold has every reason to be going up right now. And if for some reason gold stops going up and you have silver dip back below 50, I don't know if I'd want to be long precious metals in the very near term. You could probably see silver back in the low 40s and maybe gold back below, 38, 3,900. I'm not saying that the move's over for good, but those are that kind of price action is, it makes us think a little bit, right? So anyway, we'll obviously revisit that, as the days go on and we see, more develop in precious metals and obviously the price action develop here in equities later today. But I want to ask really quick, Ryan, UK jobs data, prices are up, claimant count up, not good for sterling. Sterling got smashed this morning. So, and that's why Euro sterling is higher, which I'm happy about because I've been long it for, since last week. Tell us what it's telling you as a UK resident
As a
citizen.
UK president, you
I
say?
said resident, and
A resident was a UK president.
not president. And boy, if you guys had a president, maybe you would stop switching out so many prime ministers.
Yeah, yeah, we've got a revolving door as well. Not as bad as France, but we're working on it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that the jobs report was massively bad. It was another negative one. I think the wages picture probably did a lot of the damage. It showed wages coming down, showed the private sector wages coming down a good chunk as well. But otherwise, yeah, it's a bit like the US. It's not falling off a cliff. It's just, dribbling lower a bit. But I think with everything going on, every item of data we get from the UK now is going to be important in the run up to the budget, because it's going to show the state of the economy going in, which then the market will extrapolate into guessing what they think our stupid chancellor is going to do, which is probably going to be making things worse, whatever way it goes. So yeah, the quid got a little bit of a knock. Obviously, cable, it's got problems with the dollar going on there as well. So that was a double whammy.
Right.
Euro sterling that ticked up to that 87.20. It's back above the 87 level. The dip to my zone in the 70s held once again, but this is going a bit sideways at the moment.
But do you like the confluence of trend lines? This is all previous triangle support. Now you have trend line support, previous triangle breakout point, 50 DMA. A lot of support here, but now that we've done it, I mean, that to me is now looking like it's going to be a wedge. And if it's a wedge and we get a breakout as a wedge, and let me just kind of draw it out for you guys. This is my thought process is we're going to eventually break this 87.70, and then we're back into the, to the 90, 91, range. Do you see it that way too, that we're building this, see that price pressure? Dale, you hear what I'm saying, right? As far as the bullish wedge goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan, do you think this could be where
Yeah.
Sterling starts to underperform?
Well, I'm expecting that because I've been long for a couple of months now. But I am getting a bit cautious that the market is pricing in bad news for the budget. So that may limit the upside. And then on the flip side, Europe's not exactly going great guns at the moment. So 90s, we'd have to be really seeing something shit the bed over here. to
Yeah.
get up there. But if we get a break over the budget, takes us up maybe to 88, through 88, I might, if I'm still long, I might think of that and chop it around into shorts, because I don't think Europe's doing any much better either. And I still think the ECB are going to be forced back into rate cuts. So yeah, if we get over the worst of the UK stuff past the budget and we're higher, then I'm potentially going to be looking to take profit and then maybe think about going short. But in terms of your technical picture, yeah, it's building, but this can build for months more.
I'd be
before it
alert
actually does
for
something.
I'd be alert for a stop hunt because they've been almost like the market's been setting it up by not making new highs. I think the high in the middle was the high that took out the first top. But there's probably everyone who's short has their stops there.
Yeah,
So just be alert if it breaks out and the same day it's not holding the breakout. You know, that's something I would just be alert for. I'm not
yeah,
forecasting it, but like you, Blake, I'm always looking for those clean,
Wrong-footed. Yeah.
yeah, clean out the last bears before it could break.
You know,
Because
it just so
go ahead.
happens to be your name on social media is Forex Stop Hunter. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's what I hunt for.
I know. I love poor positioning. It's like the best thing as a trader to find people that are wrong-footed. And it's especially when positioning goes your way too. Hey, real quick, do you have a guest today, Dale?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to go around the horn here and wrap things up. K-Man, I know you've been out of pocket for a few days. I don't want to really put you on the spot, but I do agree with what you said earlier that you are, there's not a lot of clarity right now, and I agree there isn't because I'm in the camp that the euro is transitioning into more of a safe haven currency, and it has been all year. But it doesn't take away from the dollar's reserve status. But people don't look at Europe as this beacon of growth. It's more of a beacon of lack of volatility, if you will. Boring is good, when you're talking economies right now, because if you have U.S. dollar exposure, you get volatility due to our administration right now and the trade war we're currently engaged in. So I know that the euro is being push pulled in a couple different directions. Commodity currencies are acting like it should be risk off, but then again, emerging market currencies aren't doing too bad. I mean, you look at dollar max, you'd think it'd be a lot higher in this environment. So I know there's not a lot of clarity as a whole, but is there anything that you're looking at in particular?
Well, I bought a bit of euro sterling this morning as well. I'm planning to add if we get back down into mid 86s or so, around that 86.70 as well. As a matter of fact, I had an order really while I was out, but I never got filled at 86. What was it? 60 to the last couple of days. But yeah, that one, and then, but yeah, the euro is actually pretty resilient if you look at it. Mess in France, German data can't get off the ground, even a bit worse this morning, and it's still there. So I think perhaps euro crosses could do okay. That's one. And the rest, yeah. Okay, the mix I think is still that USMCA thing going on as well, which perhaps it's holding it back a bit. But if you talk about EM, there's one now, and I know it's bounced already quite a bit, but I'm starting to look at dollar rand again. Seems like we really found a good bottom there, around the 17.10, and that's one
Yeah.
where I could get interested again if we see a bit of a dip, maybe try to build something there.
We have some Canadian building permits coming out. And I doubt it's going to move the market, but the dollar CAD, just so everybody knows, is I'm such a Canadian bear, but I just being long down here, I got limited out around 140 while I was traveling actually. It's hard for me to chase it up at 140 70 or whatever. I'm still buying dips here. But anyway, here we are, you know, above the 38% retracement. We got some data, Canadian building permits, you know, weaker than expected. So should continue to feed into dollar or Canadian weakness, and plus with some risk off. But Ryan, I know you have a couple of sick little ones around your house. Do you want to give everybody an update on what you're thinking?
What dollar CAD or
Or any no, I'm just talking about anything else that you're looking at in particular. I know you talked a little bit
yeah,
about Euro Sterling and anything else.
yeah, dollar MEX could be breaking. It looks like it's breaking now out that 1850, 1820 box.
Yeah,
Finally, I thought last week we'd sort of maybe cracked the egg without that prior move, and it's gone through again today pretty easily. We're finding support at one of my levels, 1854.55. We're now finding another one at 1858, or trying to. And if it does hold here, then we could be on for a move up to maybe the 1880s, if not a bit more.
yeah, maybe we can squeeze a bit more. And I think that's one of those situations. If you see risk really roll over and attack, the previous lows in the S&P, you're going to see that dollar max really start to perk up. This is still the channel I think everybody should be looking at on the S&P is here. Also, I have to reiterate what we were talking about a little bit earlier is gold and silver. You gotta watch them. You really do. Gold should be going up right now, like today. When that headline hit about China, gold went straight down. And correct me if I'm wrong. I was in. I just had went to bed or really close to going to bed here, and that's when the China news hit. Like, why didn't we go the other direction? Is what I'm asking, and I'm sure longs are asking the same thing right now. So, watch.
Because of gravity.
Yeah, well, that's it, Dale, right? And
Uh,
I mean,
and
what,
under
what?
and under 50/30 in silver, you have a key reversal.
Yeah, so
That's
let's.
going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, look at the candle that's developing on silver. I mean, and then once again, I will reiterate what we've been saying is if you see silver, trading in the high 40s, that's a straight up false breakout. And gold's had a hell of a run, silver's had a hell of a run. We could see a pretty substantial correction in these metals. So
Yep.
anyway,
You have to
just
be careful in that because there were some moves overnight, and a lot of different platforms had different lows.
okay.
So there is a lot of volatility. Spreads are blowing out when it gets
Yeah.
busy. It's not a good market for us retailers to be trading at the moment. So
Great,
take that
great
into
point.
account.
Great point. And you know what? You know what is before Dale, I'm going to turn it right over to you. But if you guys haven't signed up right here in the middle of our Forex Analytics website, right here in the very middle, you want to join our newsletter because it's a free newsletter. We are going to be we're working diligently. I was up an hour early this morning at like in the 3 o'clock hours having discussions about trading analytics and development. We are going to be launching trading analytics pretty soon. But we're still giving away a few free items. So every month to people that are in our newsletter. Yeah, you could subscribe with multiple emails. We can't stop you from doing that. So
Is Blake, is the launch going up on one of Musk's rockets?
yeah, I hope so. No,
Okay,
maybe
because
not.
sometimes they explode.
Some of them has exploded, so
I
maybe
just
not.
want
I don't
to
know.
take out some
But
insurance on it. That's all.
yeah, make sure you guys register. It's free to register. Just go again to Forex Analytics, go right in the middle where it says this big yellow strip, and just click here, and it'll get you there. So you'll just be updated when we do launch trading analytics. It's going to be hugely beneficial to everybody that's listening to this, active customers that we have right now, and for the new ones. So we'll see you there. Dale, I'm going to pass it over to you. Have a
Okay.
great interview,
All
and
right.
everybody have a good trading day. We're gonna see you guys in the Forex Analytics chat room in a few minutes, and then I'll catch you guys in the morning edge in about 40 minutes from right now.
Good to have the team at full strength. Great to have you back, K-Man. Ryan, you can't leave,
Thank you,
man.
Ryan.
I'm not
Thanks,
going to let
mate.
you leave. All right. And Blake, great to have you back too, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
And anyway, good session. I did talk about that 53.20 level in silver. Resting order was picked off. So let's see what happens here. We have a great guest today. He's been a mentor for hundreds of traders over the years, and I haven't talked to Alexander in a while. So welcome back to F.A.C.E, Alex. How are you?
Good, good. I'm glad to be here. Good morning,
Yeah,
Dale.
yes, it's good to have you here. Some wild things happening here. Have you been on vacation? I know you like to go to Japan a lot. You've been over there?
I've
Huh? Hello?
I've been busy. I've been haven't made it over there, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you
Can
now.
you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, I
Test,
got
test.
you.
Okay.
I
You
can
got
hear
to
you.
turn that volume up.
All right. All right, buddy. So
Cool.
what do you what
I've just been busy, so I haven't. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I have been busy, so I haven't really been on X a whole lot, but
Okay. You've
yeah,
been
definitely a lot of volatility in the markets.
yeah. Were you there for any of the silver move?
No, I haven't really been playing silver. You know, for me, I don't trade the precious metals. I really just hoard gold.
Okay. Not a,
So
and what's your address?
yeah, exactly. Look for the big X in my backyard.
Anyway, we have a pretty big day happening in the metals. Potential key reversal in silver.
Mm,
We're up at like the 98th percentile of the most bullishness in PMs since the 70s.
yeah,
So,
I mean they're definitely seem overbought, but with moves like this, they can just continue to be overbought.
yeah, I think today's
It's
significant though.
one
I know because I was scalping the
mm,
short side during the melt up. You know
nice.
that you can make money being against a trend and against a powerful trend if you have decent timing and risk management skills. Because
And you got to be quick on your feet.
yeah, they're scalps. So what do you tell me what's got your attention today? What do you want to talk
Sure.
about?
Here I can share my screen. Hopefully this goes to the right one.
Okay, we have the
Um,
currency, the Dixie.
okay, so what I like to do is focus on relative strength when I'm looking at
Right,
Forex. It's
right.
harder to do this with equities and commodities, but with Forex, they kind of lend themselves to it. So I've updated my chart. Like I said, I haven't been posting that much on X lately, so this is live on your show, the updated chart here.
Okay,
So just looking at the most recent one, I mean, the whole graph shows the history of the single currencies and their absolute values. But what I really pay attention to is just the most recent data column. So
okay.
I know you guys were talking about the Mexican peso and the euro, pound was there, the yuan. So I try to follow all the major currencies plus a couple of the other ones that are
Emerging.
talked about. Yeah, emerging markets, the Mexican peso, the yuan, even the rupees down here.
Right.
So as far as what I've been looking at
So is it
is re-
strength from top to bottom? The relative strength is the Swiss
right.
at the top.
So
Okay.
right. The Swiss is just a beast. It is pushing around all the other currencies below it, where you have New Zealand just can't do anything. It's just it doesn't have a lot of strength, or at least the last couple of weeks. This is a weekly chart,
Yeah.
so each column is just 1 week. So it's kind of slow moving, but it definitely captures those bigger trends.
Too much
So
milk.
right,
Go
right.
ahead.
That's
Yeah.
funny. They what is it? Like a third of their GDP is dairy exports. So
Right.
every now and then I go on the Global Dairy Trade website. You can kind of see the different forms of dairy and what the auctions were on those. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
nothing else better to do.
Yeah. So you think
So
is it time to take a stab at the long side of US dollar MEX in the middle of, what's happening with the US and China? I think things are settled with Mexico, aren't they?
it definitely seems like the strength is converging a bit, and dollar started all the way down here at the bottom and has just been kind of making its way up. And the Mexican peso has really been holding this top spot for a while. So for me, it's a little too early. I really like to find an established trend and then go with that. So kind of looking at, we can bring it up here. Even just the daily charts, just not there for me yet.
What would it take?
Uh, I, on top of seeing the kind of structure of a trend, so I would want to start seeing price action doing this. Really, what my
Okay.
eyes would first be looking at is when this is going to cross. So
Okay.
I'd really like to see that the dollar is gaining strength over the Mexican peso, as either the Mexican peso moves down a little bit more or the dollar starts to move up. With this graph, I do like to see a bit of a spread. So for example, euro has been a decent currency for a while now, for most of the
Yeah,
year.
right.
And euro pound, you guys were talking about this. This would definitely be something on my radar. Euro is stronger than the pound. They're
Right.
both relatively stronger than others. Really, I prefer to see maybe two spaces. So if it was like euro, the yuan, maybe another currency, and then the pound, that really shows a stronger currency. But even just looking at euro pound, you get a better picture here, right? So at least with euro pound, we have this structure of an uptrend
Yes.
forming. We're not just coming out of a basing pattern. This is kind of,
Right.
even if the dollar Mexican peso is gonna do this, it's kind of like we're somewhere right here, and we're
Yeah.
just now breaking out. So I'd prefer to see more. But with
Okay.
something like this, the relative strength of the euro is stronger than the pound, so that
Yeah.
kind of or lends to the odds, enhancing the odds. And then when you see the chart, you have this really nice trend, probably across the, not really across the board here just yet. So on the 4-hour chart, we're looks like we're trying to go there. So for me, what I would like to see to jump in on this is just to get a little break,
And then
so
by the
that,
next pullback.
and then buy the pullback down to a little demand zone. So
Okay.
maybe something like this,
Okay.
and just try
Al
to.
Alexander's company used to charge 10,000 to show you this right here.
The school I used
So,
to work for would charge quite a bit
yeah,
for this.
supply and demand zones,
Right.
proprietary, right? They
I,
they
I
made
feel like it's not anymore.
it
Uh, you
wasn't
know,
then either, buddy.
hmm.
Anyway, so okay, euro pound. Looks like it's trying to break out over that double top. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
I
okay,
would like to see that, especially with what the relative strength is showing. You got the structure that just aligns with it. So,
right,
I know relative strength is something that's done all over the place. And I think it's just important that when you're using something like this, it might be a good road sign, but you definitely always want to end at the chart, make sure that it has the setups that you're looking for. And I think actually one of the gold nuggets that you dropped during your session earlier was talking about how traders need to know when not to trade. As uncomfortable as it is, and everyone thinks that a trader's job is to trade,
yeah,
having your setups down and detailed well enough where if there's a setup or not. If you're just working off of just a moving average crossover, you can go and find those anywhere, but
Right.
really having a detailed setup that involves that crossover, whether it's multiple time frames, whether it's other forms of analysis, that kind of create a picture that you're looking for. And that's kind of what I just do with these trends. I'm a trend trader.
All right. All right. Could I make a request?
Sure.
We had this real nice rally in the yen from 147 to 53, the last part of it being the elections, and then the sell-off, and then the yen came off with risk off. Are
Mhm.
you seeing anything in the yen crosses for shorts, like maybe Aussie yen? Euro yen may not be the best because it's the strongest. What yen cross would you go into if we're entering more of a correction? Say we have a 10-15% correction in the market. Which yen cross would you be looking at to ride?
Typically,
And if not,
if the market is putting in a top, normally the commodity currencies really take a hit with that.
yeah,
So, New Zealand is already rock bottom,
right.
so maybe New Zealand yen, CAD has been really weak, so that wouldn't take much for
Okay,
that to get pushed lower. And then the Aussie's taken a bit of a dive. It's been
yeah,
kind of hovering up here in the upper portion of the graph, but just the last week really saw a sell off. So I would, if I was fishing for some shorts on the yen, I would say probably Aussie yen, CAD yen. First place that I would go look is New Zealand yen.
okay.
Kind
All
of
right.
looking at some of those.
Yeah, because they're weaker than the dollar, so U.S. dollar yen short isn't as attractive as Aussie yen short. And
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
so Aussie
Mm,
yen, classic risk off pair from many years ago. Remember,
mm.
Chris Laurie made it famous trading as Aussie yen. You remember the guy, Chris
I,
Laurie?
I don't.
Okay,
I
yeah, he
don't.
was an
But
Olympic athlete, pretty big
mm,
FX guy for a while. So what's Aussie yen? There it is up there. So it looks like it just peaked.
um, yeah, I mean, we definitely have the top in here. It's just
Okay,
not the kind of structure I would be looking for to short.
okay, okay.
The most bearish thing that I see is this really big, like shooting star, topping tail, like candlestick pattern on the weekly.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
definitely noticeable. that was that
oh,
was a that was a serious sell off. So the bearish momentum could continue on that. But
okay.
as a trend trader, when I go to the daily chart and I see this, I'm not too excited
All right.
to short. I'd
Okay.
probably be looking
Show
for a
that.
long.
All right. Show that weekly again and I'll tell you what I see.
I love it.
Okay. You see the low in July? That was drive one. No, July.
Right here, right here.
Left, 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 all the way back. The first
Oh,
low. There. Drive one. Okay.
hmm.
Now you don't have momentum indicators up there, but then you have drive two in March. And so to me, the pattern looks incomplete. That's right.
Okay. I mean,
That's what I'm stalking now.
mm,
I
I
just
mean,
wanted
I can
the
see
audience
that.
to see that. Oh, well, Glenn, you were lucky to have Chris as a mentor. Okay. So anyway, that looks, risks the highs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I see the weekly downtrend. It's
Yeah.
just we're operating in a different context. That's
Okay.
so
Yeah.
as a trend trader, it's like, well, whose trend? It's
Yeah,
my
that's
trend
right.
I'm trading.
Yeah, it's trendless. I mean, unless you break it down, but
Mm,
that to
mm,
me, I've seen that
yeah.
before. So if you put up an RSI under there, Alexander, just put any RSI, it'll work.
Well,
Okay. Okay. So at okay, see that last low that we had in March, that confirmed. I'm surprised that it took out the first one. But anyway, we get another. So that low confirming
Hmm.
actually tells me that's not a low because momentum and price confirming is a high probability that that is just a low and not the low. So I'd expect those levels to
Uh,
be taken out, and
hmm.
then down there we'll have some nice divergences, like at 82. That's a big trade from here.
That's a huge trade.
Yeah,
That is definitely
that
would
that
take time to play out.
till the end of the year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, I'm just giving you, I don't know, I've just felt inspired, and sometimes, uh, Nostradamus' spirit enters my mind, and I get delusions of grandeur, and I could see these huge patterns developing, and I feel like, you know what? I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's
You
all
know,
those
so
years built into your intuition.
so
I'm trying to learn
knowing,
from it.
yeah, knowing and doing and executing are all different matters. But anyway,
Hmm.
that's what I see like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I can definitely see that. We'll I'll keep an eye on it with the relative
well,
strength.
yeah,
We'll
maybe
see if
Don
this can.
Dawson, maybe Don will have a seasonal to support that idea. Don Dawson.
I think I think the seasonal just ended for Aussie strength. Actually,
Okay.
I would have to clear that with him. But typically,
Yeah.
they're later in the year, around now, there's a lot of
Yeah.
exchange going on
Okay.
right now. But okay, interesting. Yeah, so I mean, really, if we were to do this relative strength on a big enough level, I mean, we would see that for weekly trades as well. I typically stick with daily trends. If I can see the weekly, daily in alignment, then just trying to find a basic trend structure on a 4 hour, on an hourly,
Yeah.
with anything that kind of shows like the big extremes would be like Euro New Zealand, really
Okay.
picking something from the top, picking something from the bottom tends to yield decent trends. That's the weekly chart. Here's the daily. So, weekly's going up, daily's going up, just with a little trend
Now,
structure
now
here,
you
just
have, all right, now you have the opposite formation on the 4 hour, right? You have a three drive to a top.
to a top.
Yeah. So if you put the RSI up now, you'll see that you're going to have lower readings at this last high. So that's my one trick. I'm a one trick pony, buddy.
That's all you need to be.
All right,
Everyone thinks
so
that's boring, but boring
yeah, so
works.
there I get in trouble when I try other tricks like riding a bronco or a bull. But on a pony, especially the ones at Kittyland, I'm pretty tough on those little merry-go-round ponies. Uh, so there you go. Three drives to a top.
Hmm, hmm. Yeah, so I'd be looking for this to
Interesting.
continue, maybe a little drop down to
Yeah.
uh, this little zone right here, and just
Yeah,
trying to take this trend higher.
you'll get a pullback here.
Yeah, so that's really the magic of this. It's just trying
Yeah.
to lead me to currency pair to trade. Kind of
So
going back to what you were saying, rather than trying to trade everything, and having a setup that can apply to anything, which then you're just trading all the time. Really having a defined setup and a process so that you have a better time knowing when not to trade. When my technical aspect is in conflict with my relative strength, it's just not setting up the kind of picture that I'm looking for.
okay. So you trade for a living. I mean, this is how you make your living, right? Mainly through
Yep.
trading.
Yeah,
All right.
mainly through
So
trading.
let's help some people out. So you really have more pressure than people that have other streams of income, okay, to pull money out of the market to support your lifestyle. how do you deal with not seeing anything and yet knowing that you have to look for things to generate income for you?
You know,
How do you handle that?
really try not to focus on it. I mean,
Okay.
I really try to stay in my process.
Yes.
I try to really keep my fingers on the fears that make us tend to break our process.
To
You know, the
make
big one
mistakes.
being FOMO. You
Yeah.
know, fear of missing out is one of the 4 fears that Mark Douglas talks about.
Yeah.
Right. So I think FOMO is the big one. You know, the other ones is fear of being wrong, fear of losing, fear of leaving money on the table. You know, all that can definitely distract you. But I think the FOMO one gets people the most,
In
where
the
we
most
just,
trouble. Yeah.
yeah, we've got to be in this trade. I need this trade. And
That's
so
what
we
I
end up,
heard people. Yeah, one of the guys I work with were saying that, well, people are buying silver. It's like they're people need silver. And I go, they need silver. What do they need it for? I mean, at $50.
Mm.
Anyway, that's interesting. The key words are your process and having the discipline not to go back because we all have a process. The problem is we revert to our default position before our paradigm is completely lined up with your process. And that takes time, doesn't it? And
a
repetition.
lot of time. And I don't think you ever get over it. I think just as professionals, we learn to build certain mental tools that help us deal with those pressures. So, you know, I used to work with even ER doctors, you know, and they deal with something very similar. I mean,
Yeah,
they're trying to save a life. You know, they're
yeah,
compassionate individuals. If they start just, oh, poor patient, I feel so bad for him. I mean, we're going to lose them. You know,
right.
we can't be thinking of the outcomes at that point. We have to just focus in on the process, keep moving, keep doing everything we can do in that situation. And in trading, it's no different. You know, as soon as we start to focus on the outcome, focus on what we need this money to do for us, we stop focusing on the process that allows us to achieve sustainable growth.
Alexander Perna, you need to start mentoring again. Yeah,
I'm
go ahead. Are
well,
you?
I'm working my way into the where Don works. Actually, Don got me a position, like
Oh,
almost
at
like a
Bar Chart?
part-time position at no, it's called Trade with the Pros. So he also does some videos and mentoring for them. So I'm
Cool.
starting to get back into it. That's why I've been so busy the last couple months
All
and
right.
um,
But you have a
not been
lot to
posting on
offer.
X. Oh,
You have
thank you.
it's all in the head. A lot of it's in the head. I mean, I know you have your relative strength meter, but your process is in the head.
Well,
And
it's
it's
the
all
people that
psychology. Yeah.
it's the people that I've surrounded myself with. And you know,
Yeah.
I know we've never met in person, but you know, just listening to you, listening to Don, listening to my other mentors, whether they're personal mentors or ones that I've just adopted from a distance.
Yeah.
You
All
know,
right.
surround yourself with the people who you want to be most like.
Tony
I
Robbins.
wanna be like you, Dale.
Oh, well,
I want all the knowledge.
be careful. What's that saying? That expression? Be careful what you wish for. Anyway, buddy, it was great talking to you again. So you'll let us
Always a
know,
pleasure.
you'll let us know where to find you. You could always post it on X. Are you working there now? You could give Don's the new website that you're going to be participating in. You could share that with the
Uh,
audience.
it's called tradewiththepros.com. So it's just another trading academy. Don's in there. He does a lot of the trading psychology videos
Yeah.
and really what my position is I'm working into being what they're just calling an accountability coach.
Oh,
So someone who just works with the students and keeps them accountable, really focused more on creating a process, structuring a trade plan,
okay.
just that kind of stuff.
Can you tape a session where you lose it and you're like a drill instructor? And I have and I have just one suggestion to listen to this song today by Van Morrison. Why do I always have to explain? Okay.
Okay, I'll look
All
it
right.
up.
Post it and tell me if you can relate to that song the way I do. All right,
Okay,
brother? All
thank
right,
you. Thank you, Dale.
Alexander Perna, you could now you could find him on that new website and also find him at Who's Trend on X, WHOSTREND, and be talking to you next year, buddy.
Cool. Take care,
Yeah,
Dale.
yeah. Have
Have
a
a
great fall trading season and winter. We'll be
you, you,
talking.
you do the same.
Okay.
Give Don some trouble.
I always do. That's,
Good,
all
good.
right. All
Take
right,
care.
buddy. All right.
Bye.
So bye, Alexander. That's it. Thanks, Laura. Everyone have a great day. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And that's a wrap. Adios. See you for Turnaround Tuesday.